Hello everyone and welcome to episode 24 of the GTA Online Racing series, and this one is a little bit different because we aren't looking at any sort of serious races here. So obviously my channel is generally focused towards more serious racing, so that would be, you know, on proper tracks with catch up off, slipstream off, traffic off, either supercars or sport cars or coupes, you know, a reasonable class that's pretty quick and takes a bit of skill. And that's kind of the races that I do 95% of the time, I would say. But there are other things on GTA, you know, there are other classes, vans for example, utility, cycles, there are other races such as, you know, jumps, like I know it's terrible, but you know, there are other races as well. They are mainly the Rockstar verified ones, I will say that. The more fun races, I suppose you could say, are the ones that are hopefully the people that are geared towards fun are more likely to be Rockstar verified than anything else. But yeah, you know, there are lots of other different ways to not only race on GTA but just do other things in general. And I think it's probably a good idea to explore a lot of those things, because you know, you can get burnt out with just racing, doing serious races all of the time. So, you know, what options do we have to do something different, to mix it up a little bit rather than just do serious races all the time? So you've got different classes. Obviously you can race in SUVs, you can race in vans, compacts, utility vehicles, something like that. You can put catch up on and slipstream on if you want, or just put slipstream on, leave catch up off, or do something like that. You can race what you might consider to be more stupid tracks. You know, I would consider a lot of the Rockstar verified tracks to be more stupid tracks, but they do have a place, you know, if you just want to have a bit of fun. What else? You could also turn traffic on, you know, make it rain, put raining on, make it at night. Just mix things up a little bit, make it a bit different, or as much different to what you normally do as you can. And there's also other game modes, you know, there's boat races, there are plane races, cycle races, and you know, these sort of things, all these things. You could even, if you were just with a group of your friends, you could turn on GTA in a cycle race or something, get off your bikes and start running around the track. You know, all of these little things that are racing in general that are a little bit different. You know, rally racing and GTA racing, obviously, you know, rally racing doesn't really work for most of the time, but GTA races as well are, you know, something different you can do. It does have, you know, things are a lot more fun. Well, not a lot more fun, but things are certainly fun with GTA races with weapons. And you do see that, you know, in one of my previous videos that I did with Sonny Evans, you saw me take part in some races where GTA was turned on. And they were a lot of fun, you know, you shoot rockets at people, you know, there are all of these different things that you can do that just lighten the mood a little bit and make it not so serious. Because I know that, you know, I've mentioned in previous videos that the win-loss ratio doesn't really mean anything. You know, you shouldn't really pay attention to it. It's not really, it doesn't really mean anything. Those wins, those losses could have come from anywhere. But people do invariably still care about it, unfortunately, which is it's a bit of a shame. I would rather not have a win-loss ratio at all, to be honest. But, you know, people do still care about that sort of thing. And doing these fun races just resets your mind a little bit, you know, because you're not going into it aiming to win. I mean, you know, it's nice to win, but you can't, they are high variance, so to speak. You know, you are just as likely to come first as you are to come last, because there's so much that can happen. It's all very luck based. And if you do those races, you kind of reset your mind into thinking, look, it's just a bit of fun. And when you go back to your normal racing, you have a different mindset. You've got that mindset of, okay, it is, you know, I do want to win, but it's also just a bit of fun. I'm not going to be too bothered if I get hit off. You know, if someone hits me off in the first corner, I'll just look to have a good race and see where I can come, do some nice overtakes and see what happens. And that generally gives you better performances as well than getting so annoyed by it and having to rage quit or try and get revenge on someone or something like that. So if you do find yourself, you know, burning out a little bit on just doing standard races, there are a lot of other options. You don't have to just stop playing the game or or just fight through it, because everyone does get burnt out at some point or another doing something. You do have to mix it up a little bit. You know, I've been burnt out before on just doing standard races. I've obviously been burnt out when it comes to doing car tests and things like that. I'm even burnt out at the moment with doing track tests. So, you know, you do get burnt out by doing too much for a certain amount of time. But there are a lot of different things that you can do, and you should do them, just to mix things up a little bit, and just to make you realise that it doesn't have to always be 100% serious. And really, this race that you're watching now is a perfect example of it. You know, it's just I mean, I think this was the first time I'd actually raced on this track, so I didn't really know where I was going or what I was doing. But it doesn't really require much skill to get around the corners, and it's a bit of a lottery. You know, you could quite easily get hit at any point on any one of these jumps, and you know, it goes straight off. But that's not what it's about. As you saw there, someone just was spinning around. That's the kind of thing that this is all about. It's about just having a bit of fun with it, spinning your car around on the jumps, maybe trying to miss other people or even trying to hit other people. You know, that's just what it's. That's just the whole point of doing this sort of thing. And that's what these races are, I suppose, made for. You know, there are some, I've said it before, that these kind of races do have their place. Not for serious racing, obviously. You know, you can't find out who the best racer is on a track like this. It's just impossible. It's too much of a lottery. But, you know, when you just want to kick back and relax and do some stunts, do some flying through the air and trying to hit people and things like that, it serves a purpose. It really does. And I'm still not saying that I like these races or like the fact that Rockstar seem to favour these races over others. I don't think there's any real need for these races to be verified. People would find them in the community on their own. I really do think that verified races should be sort of made or verified. They should verify races that are made in the same way that Rockstar races are made, essentially, you know, proper races. But you know, never mind. It is what it is. And they do have their place. Every now and again, you just want to kick back, relax, have a bit of fun. You can just boot up one of these and just have a laugh, really. You don't have to take it so serious. So what I want to hear from you guys really now is what you guys do to chill out a bit, what you guys do to relax and have a bit of fun. That's not, you know, mainly with racing, mainly with what kind of modes you put on, what kind of races you do. Do you do van races? Do you do utility races? Or do you change it to GTA? You know, tell me what you guys do down in the comments below to chill out. And also when you're not racing as well, when you're just playing the game in free roam, what things do you like to do to kick back and relax in free roam? Also, do you do missions? You know, just let me know what you guys do when it comes to just kicking back, relax, and not really racing seriously. Because I want everyone to, once they've put those comments down below, have a look at those comments and find other ideas for things to do. And, you know, just have all of these ideas down in the comments down below from all of the people that watch these videos, and everyone can do all these sorts of fun activities just in their spare time when they fancy chilling with a bit of races. Because, you know, sometimes I've been stuck for ideas when I don't really want to race. I've been in free roam and just thought, well, what can I really do? So any ideas that you guys have, you know, any thoughts that you have of what you do to chill out on the game, whether it's racing or just in free roam or whatever, stick them all down in the comments down below. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I really appreciate you watching it as always. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.